Okay, so we're continuing. This is the Maryland Code of Ethics. So I think this is just for my Maryland people. There's probably not going to be too many of you out there that are watching this video because it's so specific to a certain people. I'm going to go through this really quick because we've already done a lot of this already in other videos. Who must abide by the Maryland Code of Ethics? All those who are members of the Realtor Association, Maryland licensees or not. No, all Maryland licensees regardless of their membership. Okay. I don't expect too many views on this because it's so specific to Maryland, so I'm not going to be spending a lot of time on this one. I'm going to get through it pretty quick. And most of these ethics are the same as the federal, with a few changes. So Carrie is a new licensee, so the Maryland Code of Ethics doesn't apply to her. Mark is a Maryland broker. False. The Maryland Code of Ethics is divided into 3 sections. I have no idea. Where is it? If she's found guilty of an ethics violation, can impose sanctions on her. Yes. Okay, all these are correct, but I don't even know about how many sections it has because normally they'll put up a resource. All right, relations with public. Basically, you treat everybody the same way you want to be treated, okay? Don't discriminate. All right. She reports the fraud. Wanda broker is accidentally copied on an email exchange and makes it clear they are colluding on a fraudulent scheme. She reports the fraud. Flipping and flopping. What's the difference between flipping and flopping? Flipping and flopping, I have no idea other than flip-flops that you wear. All right. Flipping and flopping. I don't know. Let's put yes. I don't see anything in here on flipping and flopping. All right. Business card indicates he's a member of the Realtors, but his membership has lapsed. It's unethical. Unethical. That's ethical. Okay. Disclose their license status when making offers on properties. That's ethical, I think. All right. Bill's earnest money. All right. He made an offer on an auction property, and Don received the $2,000 earnest money. Even though he doesn't actually have it yet, Don is sure Bill will stop by and deliver it and doesn't want Bill to lose out on the bid. Don submits his client's bid so he can meet the 1 p.m. deadline. I don't know about that one. That was kind of yucky. No. After a contentious contract negotiation, Steve offers his rebate to his client of his commission. He discloses this rebate to all parties in writing. Priscilla offers an open house attendee the opportunity to spin the wheel and win door prizes. Sharika runs into a fall into your dream home promotion that waives her administrative right for any buyers. And Martin offers to upgrade the washer and dryer if his buyer makes an offer on the house she's interested in. At the home selling convention, he offers to reduce his commission rate for any sellers who sign a listing with him that day. Maybe. Let's check and see. Let's see what's not right. So you can't offer to upgrade the washer and dryer if they make an offer on the house. I see people doing this kind of stuff, so that's why I was like, really? And it's illegal to reduce your commission rate for any sellers who sign a listing with them. Okay, I see people doing that in real estate all the time. This is legal. You can waive your administrative fee for buyers, and you can let people win door prizes if they attend open houses. It's a good way to get people in open houses, by the way, to give out prizes. It doesn't have to be that much. I guess the washer and dryer is too much money, maybe. But I see people doing this kind of stuff, so I guess maybe I should report them. All right, relations to clients. You have care, obedience, loyalty, accountability, and confidentiality. Almost like you're married, right? All right. Case study. He was fined $8,000 and had his license revoked. The home was on the market. Within a few weeks, they accepted it. The inspection of the home revealed several repairs need to be made. They agreed to credit the Smiths $5,000 at closing. The sellers received another offer. Even though the seller client were already under contract, they took his advice, which upset the Smiths and led to months of costly litigation. I can't even talk, listen to me. Pearson, a broker for 18 years, was fined $8,000 and had his license revoked. Wow. That's a pretty hefty fine. So, which of the following actions can you ethically and legally take? Maybe this one. Say nothing to influence them. No. Okay. That's wrong. All right. So tell them there's an upward trend in the neighborhood. Even though there's not an upward trend, we're going to say there's an upward trend. Promote your own interests ahead of clients. You treat all parties honestly. You prepare a CMA. You are the listing agent on your parents' property, but keep this fact confidential. You list a property for a higher price than originally agreed upon without the owner's permission. All this stuff is repeats, by the way. That's why I'm going kind of fast. Because we've already discussed this slower in other videos. Keith and Barbara find a lovely home with ample closet space. It was just listed yesterday. You bump into another agent leaving with her buyer. Her buyer seemed excited, and you feel like it's likely this is going to turn into a bidding war. And you are anxious to avoid losing out on this home. So Barbara suggests that you return immediately to the office, draft a purchase order. And Keith hesitates because they're still interested in looking at 2 other places nearby. And besides, they don't even know if there's anything wrong with this place. Barbara gets upset and demands right the offer now. What can you do in this situation? Okay. That was a tough one. I don't even know what it was. All right. Discuss the contents of the MLS. Personally, I would go look at the other 2 properties. But that's just me. I would go show them the other 2 properties, then go back to the office and then pull all this up. And usually you'll have all this pulled out before you even go look at the properties. So that's a little bit odd. But I would go look at all the other properties first. It's not like a crisis and you can't wait an hour and a half. Okay. Marjorie included an addendum in the contract disclosing she was receiving compensation from her buyer client as well as an early closing bonus from the listing agent. Okay, let's see. I don't know if you need to do an addendum, but you do need to disclose it. You just really need to disclose it to the broker, I believe. Okay, after a tortured negotiation process, Mike called his listing agent and informed her that he'd give her a $200 rebate of the commission she paid after the sale closed. Property manager Phil struck a deal with the company that installed all new washers and dryers, and he receives a $50 rebate per machine, and he left a note to the landlord about this at the quarterly meeting next month. All right, relations to fellow licensees. All right. Basically, you just need to cooperate. So, sum it up real quick for you. What did George do wrong here? He attempted to build his book of business. He drove through neighboring homes for sale. He offered the sellers a discount on their commission if they terminated their leasing with the current agent and signed a contract with him. Oh my God. Can you imagine? Contacted sellers working with other agents. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I basically did everything wrong. Okay, you have an exclusive representation agreement with a seller who received an offer yesterday. You assist her in drafting a counteroffer. You work with the buyer's agent, Sam, and you feel he has a headstrong attitude, could make it challenging to work out a deal. When the counteroffer is ready to be sent, what should you do? You just have to go to the buyer's agent. You're just going to have to get over it. Ethics complaints in Maryland. Yeah, I mean, you could file a complaint against them if it becomes too much of a pain in the ass. Okay, will you have an opportunity to respond to the allegations and smooth the whole thing over before the broker finds out? Probably, I would think. No. No, complaints will be sent to the brokerage. All right, dealing with unscrupulous licensees. Complaint processes for licensees who believe they have a legitimate ethical problem. This is specific to Maryland, by the way, but most of them are pretty much the same. Sometimes it's a little slightly different, but usually complaints are pretty much the same. So you have to go to the real estate commission usually, let's say. Real estate complaint online, Department of Labor, licensing and regulation. Complaints are based on issues during real estate actions. The commission does not have jurisdiction over new home builders, home inspectors, sellers, or mortgage brokers. If you're unsure whether a complaint is necessary, discuss it with your broker. Licensees should not unnecessarily engage in filing complaints against one another because it just creates a lot of problems. If you have a problem with them, you can go to the broker. If you don't want to work with them again and you get one of their listings, you could ask your broker to give it to another agent if they're really that much of a pain in the ass. But it's your decision because you're going to be giving up your commission. So sometimes you just got to deal with people we don't like in life. All right. She must submit the complaint and purchase. Remember, it's temporary. Everything changes. Eventually, you're going to go to the closing table and you won't have to deal with them again. This is all the stuff you have to go through. It's time and money. So false on a couple of these. You don't have to go in person. You can do it on the website. And cases are first reviewed and evidence examined to determine the case process. It might not be investigated. All right, penalties for violating the Code of Ethics. Could cost your license. What do you think? Can a real estate commission impose a prison sentence? No. Violations that can result in a prison sentence. Antitrust laws, crime, negligence, disclosures, listings, paperwork, licensing, advertising wrong. These are some of the fines: $5,000 for first violation, $25,000 for third. You could lose your license. Your license could be suspended. You could go to prison. If it ends up being a handling the trust money wrong, if it ends up being a discriminatory, that can go to jail for that. You can go to jail for performing illegal payments of compensation, for violating advertisement requirements. Up to 1 year for first offense, 2 years, or 3 years. So you could go to prison up to 3 years, and you could have fines up to $25,000. So you really have to be careful. You need to know your law and what you cannot do. You cannot improper handling of trust money. You cannot be discriminatory. I mean, basically, you can't be discriminatory in anything, because you're going to have the fair housing rights. I mean, even if they don't get you. I mean, it just says here Baltimore City and Montgomery County, but I mean, basically, it should be all counties, because it's like if you go in another county, you can be discriminatory. No, I mean, that don't make any sense. So you need to, fair housing violations. See, this is a crime, and it doesn't matter where it is. It doesn't matter if it's only here and here. You don't do it anywhere, you could go to prison. Mass solicitation, I'm just going to totally ignore this and just say anywhere, okay? Mass solicitation of listings that violate, just mass solicitation of listings. I don't understand that, but what is mass solicitations? Like you're bothering people with your listings? Let's see what that is. Mass solicitations of listings. All right, let's see. What is mass solicitations? Not mass politicians. Solicitations. Okay, in Maryland. Okay, it must only be in Maryland, because Maryland came up. What are in real estate? Let's put that up in real estate. So maybe this is just for Maryland. Oh, indirectly for money. Requesting directly or indirectly for money. Okay, well, that sounds like something people would do in Maryland, right? Indirectly for money, property, financial assistance, basically begging. Unethical and failing to respect the exclusive agency of a person. Okay, failure to disclose agency relationship to opposing parties. I mean, that's pretty serious. I mean, they got a contract with somebody. Violating duties to one's client, pretending to be a broker when you only are a salesperson. Antitrust violations such as market allocation, price fixing, and tie-in. Fair housing violations, steering, blockbustering, misstatement of facts. Violating a suspension order in a designated real estate conservation area. You want to steer clear of any of these violations. I know, who still wants to go and be a real estate salesperson, right? This sounds exhausting. Not to scare you or anything. When in doubt, go to your broker and ask him if it's okay. Or she, go ask her. Okay. All right, we got 10 questions, I think, here. 12 questions. Oh, my God. Okay. All right. Mike's a busy listing broker. Luna, one of the associated licensees, has a complaint filed against her. Mike was busy with his own clients, and the commission's response deadline came and went without him noticing. The following week, Mike received a new complaint against him. What is the new likely complaint about? He failed to present himself before the commission. All right, Ricky is working for Matt, a buyer client who is interested in a property at which the listing agent offers compensation to cooperating agents. The listing agent has offered Ricky or cooperating agents additional compensation if the transaction closes in 40 days. Is this ethical? I don't think so. All right, Nancy just hired her sister to list her property. Jason schedules a showing. Who's interested in Nancy's property? What needs to take place? Which of these unlicensed assistants may not be compensated for their activities in Maryland? Maybe this one. I'm not sure. During a particular grueling and heated negotiation, Roz, who's representing the buyer, notices the seller coming down the aisle at the grocery store. Roz has just heard that the buyer client is willing to budge on a couple home inspection repair issues. What should Roz do? You should not discuss this, especially in a grocery store. Okay, must abide by the code of ethics enforced by the commission. Bella pursued the listing agreement her new seller client has just signed. Looking it over, she realized she'd forgotten to fill in one item that's required in the listing agreements. What was missing? The listing agreement. I mean, any of this could be. How do we know what's missing? I don't know. Realize they forgot to fill in one item. I mean, that could be anything. That's required in Maryland. Probably the commission amount. What happens in a situation where an ethical complaint has resulted in a real estate commission recommending charges be brought? I would think it would be this. Real estate licensee in Maryland who are found guilty of violating ethics will be penalized by what body? Licensee ethical duties to the public, including not naming false considerations, staying informed, and completing paperwork accurately. Okay, which of these incentives will be legal according to Maryland law? thinking this one would be legal. I know this one isn't because we already had this question. I mean, this one could be it too. All right, which of the following is not true regarding compensation? I think this one. Oh, failed. Great, now I gotta take it again. I'm probably gonna take this on another video because this one's getting kind of long. I'll go slow through these answers so I can remember them and so you can take a screenshot if you want them. So he failed to cooperate with the commission and investigation, okay? So that's what that's about. Only if all involved parties have knowledge, okay? That right. Mike always shows properties. Okay, well, I didn't think you could show properties if you were on license. Because how are you going to get in the house? Usually you need a lockbox, and you can't get the lockbox without a license. But okay, I'll go with it. All right. Mission amount. Complaint. Attorney General's office. Really? Okay. Ethical complaints go to the Attorney General's office. Completing paperwork accurately. I got that one right. Licensees may not share commissions with licensees in other states. Okay. All right. Interesting. Okay. I'll see everybody on the next video. And it will probably be this quiz again.